All right, this is gonna be going over today. What is it? March the 2nd, Monday. I did not trade this morning. Wanted to wait and see how price developed today. That being said, it did go exactly as I had anticipated. So let's just take a look here. Last night we had already gone over the charts. We were in an open low, gap down, obviously from the news from the Iran-US situation. We gapped down, created monthly SMT at the lows here, and then had begun to expand back towards Friday's low. Had not reached that yet, right? Um, so we can see obviously now with current price where we're at. But I do want to go down now to the 4 hour and break this down. So let's just back this up. Is it going to tell me I can't or something? Okay. Boom. Okay. So we can just keep it simple with our 2610, right? 6 a.m. gives us a CSD for higher across all three assets, right? 6 verifies the OB CSD on all assets, right? So now we know, right, that 10 o'clock will expand, right? Or so we would anticipate, obviously, with some sort of retracement open low to initiate that expansion move. So we can drop down and see. Now, also something I want to point out here is because I was actually gonna talk to you about this, but I was like the GXT like driver pairing rule is like how do we start identifying that all the way down, right? Like first rule is what, right? If a reversal's been put in prior to the driver, right, then it's driver continuation, right? So like here, right, this is a reversal right here with correct PO3 manipulations of the low, right? This reversal, this bearish move reversed here, right? 2 a.m., right? Okay, so that reversal on the 4 hour, right? Where do we look for daily lows? Where do we look for low of day? Do you remember? Right? 4 hour lows, put in low of day. Okay, GXT, right? So if we have a 4 hour SMT low on the monthly, right? We know this is, right, with a CSD low of day, right? So we have a 4 hour swing point with a monthly SMT, CSD, OB, right? So this is low of day, okay? And now we're looking for retracement for expansion, okay? Um, right? So reversal's been put in prior to driver continuation, right? If it hasn't been put in prior to driver, then it's driver reversal, right? It's one or the other. Reversal's been put in, continuation. No reversal, reversal done, right? Okay, so let's drop to 15 because I know you said you took. And this was today. This is why I set out or going or not. You know, this is why for me is like today is tricky because right the CSD came. Well, I haven't. This is a 15-minute. I want to see how we didn't have anything prior to 9:30. You know what I mean? So there was nothing to take. You know, so that's why I would not have. There was nothing here. We'll see. Anyways, okay. So 15 took Asia high on YM at 9:30 SMT, but we will take that. Okay, so let's see. Now let's go down here. Okay. Wow. Okay. Looking like a whole lot of no SMT. SMT here though. At SMT prior to 9:30. Okay, so let's see here. Just straight up consolidation. Boo boo. 9:30. Yeah. What? Wait. Oh no. Well, 9:30 did SMT here, but not. But we had SMT here at what 9:15 created SMT with this low with YM. Is it this one? Yeah. And then 9:30 created SMT here. Okay. Whatever. Okay, and then Oh, let's just play this forward because I know you said you took after 10. So I just wanted to see. Because I wouldn't have wanted to take anything until 10. So let me just speed this up real quick so we can get some data. Okay. Did I pause it? Is that enough? Yeah. Okay. So let's go with no trade, right? We wait for 6 o'clock to print. So 10 o'clock, we have to wait within the 10 o'clock window. So, and wow, 10 o'clock, boom, OBCSD. And you took what? What? Oh, because we had news. That's right. We had news at 7, right? Yeah, we had PMI. Okay. So let me back it up so I can play this through like you were saying. Okay, so here's 10. Okay. So here you're anticipating news to do what? To manipulate lower to expand? Okay. And so then if you're looking for so long, so you're looking for an open low to expand. So you're going to be right. So then you take I'm going to try to get this. Oh, I can just do one over. I forgot. Was it here? So 1001 here. You anticipate this as a short? But I thought you said you got short on 1001. Oh, so you got short here and closed here on the single candle? Okay, so that's not a trade, dude. Okay. That's you FOMOing right there, yeah. Okay. I was gonna say I thought you took a short and you were anticipating here and you like had your stop up here. I was like, that's what okay, so you just took it and then got out. Well, after reading the higher time frame, you know what I mean, for sure. Look at the blue line. This is the CSD, right? The 4-hour CSD, right? Look, ES consolidating, right? On it. YM, right? Okay, GXT, can you reverse from consolidation? No, in order for reversal, all assets must reverse. Well, we also know that if we take a high or a key level and we consolidate, right? What's going to happen? Continuation, right? Because there have been so many times, right? In the morning, we take that previous day high. Everyone thinks a reversal model is going to come in, right? But over here on the side, like ES is sneakily just consolidating on top, and then everyone tries to get the reversal and they get blown out, right? Because it's not, it's continuation. Okay. Was that the only trade you took there, that short, and then you got out and you said F it or what? Okay. I am curious here. I have no idea. I am curious what'll happen here. Because here on YM, 10 o'clock, right? We had OB, right? Consolidation, expansion, right? Then we have a PD array resting on top of this OB, right? Then we open into it, right? And then we CSD here, right? We CSD here. And then we CSD 10, right? And I have no idea I'm just curious. Because here, same thing, right? If we take this, right? If you realize the direction, right? If we take this, we would just be targeting previous day high, right? So like we take this CSD because oh, look at that, even better, dude. Get this nice little one little guy right there. Anyways, we'll see what happens here. But I'm curious because this is whatever, but because at this range I wouldn't want to. Yeah, it's YM. YM's the goat, dude. Loving it. Yeah, because see then what happens here? 15 opens low on NQ to rebalance. 15 opens high, sweeps YM, consolidation to catch up, or what? Then we tap 10 o'clock's opening price, and what? Now we strength switch, NQ takes the high, we have SMT, consolidation, now YM should pick up. Yep, that's why NQ is in consolidation, and now they should just, or do they not? Oh, this is an open low. They like need a sweep out of 15-minute. Yep, SMT there. 10:30. This consolidation day is ugly. Boom. Right? Whatever. Final trigger point was SMT here. Wait. No. That loading get taken. It was here. Where was the SMT I saw? Maybe there wasn't. That was a fat consolidation range though. It was 150 point move down on. Yeah. Okay. So YM, I liked YM. I for sure would not have wanted to sit through this though, dude. I would not have wanted to do that. And I doubt coming in at 11:30 over here. Yeah, no, because there wasn't an SMT that I thought. It just rebalanced into 10 o'clock's opening price. Well, dang, dude. You see, this is I am interested as to why you thought this, like why you're the short thing is confusing. Just because we were in here for like we had such strong bias last night, and even if you don't have strong bias, you gotta like take higher time frame and go down. Like at the very minimum, we have a monthly SMT at the low, and if you told me you took like a stab short prior to market open, like before we had 4 hour CSD, okay, like maybe you thought we were gonna reject here at previous day low, right? Then it would make, like, I wouldn't say it would make sense. I wouldn't give you that, but I would, you know what I mean? Like it would be more understandable. The short after the 4 hour CSD, because this is textbook 2610, and you of all people know that, is like, that's why I'm like, dang, dude, really? And I just because I don't I just like I wasn't anticipating any sort of rejection until we got to previous day EQ or up here, right? This up here, right? Previous week EQ. Then I was looking for, are we going to continue higher or lower? Because you can see already here, right? Previous day EQ's been hit on YM, right? And we are rejecting, right? From previous week EQ, right? And look at where ES is rejecting, right? ES is already rejecting previous month EQ. We're close, right? So in order to get a potential move lower to right, if we're going to get a move lower, we have to rebalance the higher time frames, which those areas are up here, right? So like keep it simple, right? We come in the morning, right? Always try to remember what G says, right? Like it's try to like clear out the noise and identify like the real range, right? Like even though there's all this like stuff to the left, like for me in the morning, like I'm looking. Oh my gosh, what did I just do? I ruined the screen share. Hold on. In the morning, I'm really looking at this, dude. I'm looking at this area, right? Because this, and even here, is irrelevant until I know what's occurring within this zone, right? And then we fractalize, because even though this is a huge range, like, right, this is 250 points, right? On a 4 hour, it doesn't look like much, but in this zone, I can already see that, look, we got all this LR over here. Look at this. High, 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 gap, high, right? So like now it's you see? But like you gotta identify and get rid of the noise, But you only know what's noise if you find out what your key levels are, or like what you want to view as your key levels. At least this is my thought process. I would be terrified, not terrified, that's a little strong a word, but like I used to when I was like super OB man, right? It's like, okay, well we have this bearish 4-hour OB that I'm going to look for price to reject. It's like, is a 4-hour bearish OB going to be a stronger PD array than previous day EQ? Probably not in my opinion, right? And furthermore, look at where this asset's previous day EQ is and this asset's previous day EQ. It's resting where? Above their bearish order blocks, right? So if I know that, then I don't even need to pay attention to that because this will get passed if any of these two are going to rebalance, right? Less noise. Okay, well, if this gets passed and previous day EQ will be hit here first prior to either one of these assets, right? Because of the distance, right? Then I can likely say that if these assets are going to hit previous day EQ, what's the target likely for NQ? No, because look how close we are. If these are going to go all the way up here, where is this going to go? It's going to go up here, right? Think about the distance. If YM is going to pick up and come all the way up here, 310 points, right, and up here, that is going to happen. That's going to 44 points on NQ is going to happen by the time, right, YM gets to like here. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that, we already know the draw is up here, previous day high and previous week EQ, right? I know that because I keep drawing this out in every single week. By chance, which I don't believe is by chance, right? Key levels are stacked right above or right below previous week EQ. And this happened last week where we set it up just like this and we got here when the other assets got to their EQ of the day. So anyways, that's I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. That's how I rock and roll. All right, let's leave this and see. 2 o'clock, huh? Right into the 15-minute OB. Going for previous day high. I saw this earlier. I just wasn't there. I couldn't take it at the time, and I'll explain why. Actually, right now, is because my mouse is like lagging hard right now. Sorry. I was looking at this earlier before we got on. Because look, every asset closed right below. Here's previous day EQ on YM. We didn't take it. And I even checked with the minis in every single asset, every single 10 a.m. asset, 4-hour closed literally a tick besides a tick below whatever key level was there, right? So I was like, oh, okay. Well, then that's likely not, gonna be doing it. So I was like, oh, maybe something will open low. But it was like there, it was like on the 1 minute we were down here, and I wanted a CSD, but you can see we got just right here, 215 just closed above. Anyways, okay, so that's where we're at. All right, 1 second. Let me stop this recording.